taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Miami Hurricanes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Bruins have been waiting, and finally the moment is coming and the opening of the season. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. It is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the UCLA Bruins, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Miami Hurricanes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And the Canes will get this season underway as toe meets leather. Bringing it out. Slips through the line. Got a little room. There he goes. Open it up. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. He is headed to the sideline with a little bounce in his step after scoring on that kick return.
And he should have some bounce in his step. How about the effort, weaving in and out, covering all that space, great blocking on the play, and he does the rest. You don't put guys back deep that can't roll. And you could see when he got in the open field, he rolled out.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25.
On the double.
wants to go up top on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. Works his way out to the 36-yard line before being pushed out of bounds. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have
Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. He'll try to take it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
First quarter, first drive, first strike delivered, and it's the defense that comes up with the big play. Talking to the defensive coordinator, he felt really good about his pass defense, and he wasn't lying. Interception on the first drive, great possession.
And that's the way they'll start, and they hope it gets better. No game. Guys, let's talk a little UCLA. They lose in the semis last year. Any potential for a hangover this season?
I don't think so, and I think they obviously didn't finish last season the way they wanted to, but having the success they had, David, that opened the eyes to a lot of portal players around the...
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Bruins!
And this offense is firing on all cylinders right now. Starting the year, game one, creating a little bit of a pad and separation at the end of this first half. But you can see why so many people are really excited about this offense this season.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time and late in the season. And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs later in football.
Intercepted! A first half turnover can swing momentum.
Nothing going right for this team early in the first quarter here. The defense is getting gashed, and now you've thrown a pick. The head coach has got to get his team together and get everybody to calm down and settle in.
And this defense, they've got to do a big job here. Like, offense puts you in a bad spot. You haven't had some great moments, but this possession, we got to get a stop, got to stop the bleeding, and get the ball back to our offense.
The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work.
And stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Quarterback moving. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this defense had some matchups they felt really good about up front. They won one right there, getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play, and they're going to need these guys to start winning more of those because they are finding themselves in a hole here early in the game.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He wants to take the top off. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
That That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Let's take a minute to talk about Miami. They come into the season #1 recruiting class in the country. Think we'll see those freshmen much?
You dang right we will. I mean, you don't recruit like they did this offseason and be the #1 team in the country without getting a ton of impact guys that come.
There he goes. And what a huge chunk play for this offense. Just exactly what you need to move the ball down the field. He has 60 yards rushing in this game. What a way to start the new season. Complete to the left. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Miami.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
From inside the 15, chance for a good return. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Here's the give off the left side. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Another big play for this offense, and I'll tell you, historically, on the best UCLA units offensively, whether they're throwing it, whether they're in the shotgun, whether they're going up-tempo or they're not, it's always so important to have balance. They've always had a guy they can turn around and hand the football off to keep defenses honest. This guy with his power and his speed, he really gives this offense a lot of flexibility.
Big play, takes him into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
He's got him. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
How many first downs is that, guys? On this drive alone, this defense has got to find a way to get off the field. They're playing way too many snaps.
And the Bruins have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. That's reeled in. It's Bray. Put it right on him. Sweet play. Good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
Knockdown near the 3-yard line. 1st and goal, UCLA.
That's the end of the period, and it's UCLA in the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second.
14, Miami, 7.
They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. Looks as if he's going to run it. And he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, and the ball will stay at the 2.
On the play. Brings up 2nd.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Powers forward. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on third here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
And after getting it right on the edge, they'll try to punch it in on third down. Now the play fake. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, UCLA.
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now and I'm using my athleticism and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
He wants to change this route. Second down, he'll throw it. Dumps it to the back. And that is interception number 3 on the day. They make the tackle after the turnover, but hang on just a second. There's a flag on the field. Let's see if it stands. So they'll decline the penalty, pleased with the results of that last play. Great place to start for this offense. They'll leave it with him. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
Brings up second down.
The Bruins have pushed it inside the 20. Wants to fire on 2nd down. On the run, still looking. And he's left with no option but to throw it away.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC will be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He obviously saw he's outside the tackle box. He knew to throw it away as long as it got past the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, nothing open.
Oh, he's got some space. Headed to the end zone. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
Defenses are put in such a tough spot when offenses get in 3rd and short because the whole playbook is open and they go with the pass. I love it. They sneak the pass in there. Nice success. Great job by the quarterback. Getting rid of the football. Getting the first.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bruins. The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7.
That makes the score UCLA.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment. They've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right.
Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. Trying to take it back. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Out of the gun to give to the back. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Quarterback now breaking the field. Zings it complete to the right. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And that lead grows even bigger. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. The Hawkeyes have been hanging in there, but they're going to need something to break their way, and soon. They're up by 9 over UCF. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected, fellas.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
I mean, this game has to feel like a living nightmare for this quarterback. We're still in the first half, and this guy, with all the interceptions he's thrown, with all the inaccurate balls, nothing is going right. They have no semblance of a passing game because they simply cannot establish a rhythm under center.
They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. Fires left. Got him, and nobody's close. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. And the Hurricanes will snap it on 1st and 10. Got the quick pass. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line. Down to the 26-yard line and a 1st down. Looking downfield on 1st down. Working that left side now.
You complete some of these hitch throws early, you're setting up the hitch and go. Later on, you can pump fake that, and the receiver can pirouette right up the sideline. That might be a home run play for the offense.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. And the Canes want to crank the tempo. To the air on 1st down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Back to pass. Looking for the score. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Canes.
You got to wonder if that's going to be the play that changes the momentum in this game for the offense. It had been tough. They were up against it here early in the game, but the quarterback now starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. Really nice touch and throw on that touchdown. And here we go. This might be the play that gives them their confidence.
From inside the 15, here's the return. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return.
And the UCLA offense will take over 1st and 10.
They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Wants to throw on 1st down. Trying to burn this defensive back. Connected inside the 20. just what they were looking for. A huge explosive play, and they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half for the offense. They've generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now to the defense.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. The defense calls the timeout, and that's their last one of the half. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. The screen, he can go. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a 3rd down stop.
3rd down, man. I think this offense would want to throw it down the field, at least past the sticks. With this defense and their athleticism and speed, they gobbled him up behind the line of scrimmage.
Not a chance. Missed it. So, guys, a missed opportunity to expand the lead. Still a 17-point push.
And these are the ones that make me want to remove kickers from a game. I mean, this is a chip shot field goal. It should be an automatic 3. He misses. Wasted drive, wasted opportunity.
Well, the offense just taking what the defense gives them there. There's a lot of cushion out in coverage, so that was just too easy for the quarterback. Spits it out, and they pick up the first.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Finds the tight end. Turns it on at midfield. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some...
Got it in stride inside the 20. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Hurricane.
And I'm not going to say that was a must-score, but that was a must-score. And this offense delivers right before the half. Everything's starting to pick up. Hopefully, now you build some momentum. You cut it to a 2-score game. Got to build on this momentum in the second half.
From inside the 15, here comes the return. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? On the ground, it's Bray. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Timeout, UCLA.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Just a Barishnikov-like move on the sideline to tap that toe and get the 1st down.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
Wants to go up top on first down. Looking for the end zone. It's incomplete, and they tried to get one on the board before the break and couldn't quite make the connection. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Miami, 21.
And the Bruins will kick it away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They got a lot done through the air in the first half, and they might need even more production here in the second.
I think they will, Reese, and I think this is an offense that has proven they're playing with good timing right now. They've got some matchups where they're winning one-on-one, and they're just going to have to keep going back to the well, David, and relying on hitting some explosive plays to win this game.
Yeah, and I think we look at numbers naturally, and they're losing. So that's the most important thing on the scoreboard, but they have had success. And so what do? You keep playing pitch and catch. You got to score, but you got to talk to your defense. I need some stops. I need the football back quickly so we can do some more damage.
I feel like this guy's having one of those games. It happens maybe once in your life. He's just been open everywhere on the field. He's been lighting up the scoreboard. He's turning these defenders around. They just simply can't cover him.
Punts it out of the air. He get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a first down. The Canes come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Looking to the big tight end. That's caught. It's Snow. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This offense had so much success in that first half, so in the third quarter they come out and the quarterback looks like he's still dealing. This has been a really nice drive. That was a really nice throw. Just keep doing what you're doing if you're on offense.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. From the gun. Give on the inside. Defense there to stop him after he picked up a yard. Ball's at the 17.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Fires to the tight end. And they bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10. The Hurricanes, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
He's brought down at the 6th, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
I don't know about that play call, man. Your quarterback's already thrown 3 TDs in this game. Pollock, let him cook down here.
Yeah, I mean, trying to show some balance, but he has had a great day. I trust him. This is a good situation. I'm going to put the ball in his hands, and I'm going to let him throw this football and get a touchdown.
Oh, and he dropped it. He had a touchdown right in his hands and couldn't hang on. It'll be 4th down.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. From the gun. Looking for the goal line. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down.
And they decide to go for it. They decide to be aggressive, trying to throw the football down the field. Receiver, quarterback, not on the same page. No dice, turnover on downs.
UCLA will go back to work on offense. To the ground with the back. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. On the move. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
The Bruins come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They just needed inches. Instead, they lost 3 feet. What a play by the defense.
And this team needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you've got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
And the returner will be brought down.
Hurricanes will take over. 1st and 10.
First snap of this drive will come from the 46. First play of the drive wants to throw. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
No big surprise there, right? We're throwing to a guy that already has 3 touchdown catches in the game, so take another shot. Every time he has looked his way, good things have happened, and that's one of the very few times in this game so far where they have not been able to hook up.
Shoots it to the left. They almost had another interception. Is everybody clear on who's wearing which colored jerseys?
And almost another interception for this defense. They've been picking him off like crazy. They've shut down this passing attack, creating so many big plays. This defense is dialed in, locked in, and really creating havoc for this offense.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on 4th down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on 4th down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. The decision to go for it does not pan out. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep. Breaks into the open. He's at the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, UCLA.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield on 1st down. They're working that left side. Few things on offense as reliable as a tough power back as he plows his way ahead to the 33. Fires to the middle. Finds a tight end down the gut. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. To the air on 1st down. Right on the money. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on move. That's the end of the quarter, and UCLA has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Wants to throw again. He makes the grab. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. And the Canes come to the line in the hurry-up.
And, man, this quarterback has had a day. With that pass, he goes over 300 yards.
And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
UCLA will go back to work on offense. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Looking to fire. Complete to the left. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
I don't know if they're trying to get this guy Heisman consideration, but the fact that they're still throwing the ball at this point of the game with a lead like they have is surprising, I gotta be honest.
Now on first down from the 28. Wants to throw on first down. Looking deep. He's got it for a big play. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. And the Bruins come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Give to the back. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn.
Turning it on! Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
You have got to have pass rushing lane integrity when you face this quarterback. On third down, someone gets out of his gap right up the middle. It's easy for the quarterback to see. He just tucks it and takes off and picks up the first down.
Quickly complete. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving. Get a few.
Touchdown, Bruins! And the route is on.
Well, these players came together. I've been so impressed, not just by the talent, but also by their composure. Handling this kind of environment in the first game of the season, this says a lot about the leadership in that locker room.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Cincinnati has the lead right now, but if this team has taught us anything over the years, it's that no lead is safe inside Nippert Stadium. They're up by 8 over Boise State. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here. Guys?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Still on his feet down the left side. He's at the 10, and he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Miami! When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short, and he did the rest of the work.
They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
And that is why they're called the hands team, people, on onside kicks. Great job jumping on that ball.
The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Running back searching for a hole.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Gonna swing it on second down. He's going for the big play. Trying to find the end zone. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be first and goal from there. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. They'll run it on first and goal. Touchdown, UCLA! And the stomping has commenced.
And the second half looking a lot like the first half, and this lead continues to build. How about the rhythm of this offense? They are showing you a little bit of everything. What they worked on in the offseason has been right on point, and game one going exactly how they scripted it.
Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football.
And he throws another interception. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play.
There he goes. He'll be pushed out of bounds just short of the end zone, and that one saved a touchdown at least for now.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays. And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. But, you know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done.
And they're going to score again, yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Quick strike complete. He smashes his way through again. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line. Wants to go up top on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Snow. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Looking to throw on first down. Fakes to grab. Ripping off the huge gain down to the 17-yard line. And this is sort of like a pinball machine. The numbers keep ticking up. He's closing in on 450 yards.
Yeah, Reese, and there's no defense for perfect throws, and that's what this guy's been delivering all game long. You know, the coverage has...
Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Got some room to run. The 40, the 30, past the 10, and he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins!
And this has been the story of the game. Everything going their way. Offensively, special teams, and now on defense. Here in the fourth quarter, they're still being aggressive. They're still jumping these throws, and he picked that thing off and took it all the way to the house.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. And the Hurricanes headed quickly to the line. Now on the move. Got the first down. Looking for more. And the runner is down, and so is a flag. They had the first down before that penalty backed them up, and now they'll snap it on second down. Line getting set on second down. Wants to go up top. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know.
Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down. Timeout called by the offense. We have 18 seconds left. And the Canes will try to convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Gets it out quickly. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. A productive play is one that gets you at least halfway to another first down here on 1st and 10. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets it to midfield. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. To the air on first down. Rifles it down the middle. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. And he'll get in for the late touchdown, the consolation prize, the window dressing score to make the final outcome a little closer.
Yeah, and this offense needs a spark, man. Down big. Listen, it's game one. It's not the end of the world, but we got a deficit. Got to put some drives together. Nice drive here. Now the defense needs to do their part because they got to put this thing in turbo.
No backs with the quarterback as they line up for the 2. Just going to keep it after the snap. That will be the final play as they make the stop, and the clock has expired here.